Let's talk about ILUS International. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about ILUS, OTC ticker ILUS. This penny stock has just dropped to its lowest levels in nearly a year in recent weeks, but with recent developments and new deals done that are yet to be officially announced, I feel that the next few weeks will be huge for ILUS International. I also have a big Cyberlux update that could see CYBL stock make big gains in the coming weeks. And finally, one of my favourite penny stock opportunities is a little OTC stock that looks set to make shareholders an easy 200% in coming weeks. More about this later in the video. Congratulations to anyone who bought into Redbox after my tweet back in April at only $3, or after my video back in May at $5. With the stock hitting as high as $18 earlier this week, which exceeded my expectations just when I was beginning to think that it was over. So if you enjoy this content or find any value in my videos, then help me grow this channel by smashing the like button and dropping me a comment. I'm aiming for 200 likes on this video, help me make that happen. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification so you never miss a video that could potentially provide you with critical information. I want to point out that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. At the end of the day, you make the decisions whether to buy or sell any stocks. Now, let's get into the very latest news. On Wednesday, ILUS provided an update on the progress, plans and focus regarding its subsidiaries, including its plan to add a significant battery manufacturing acquisition to its renewable subsidiary. So as we know already, Emergency Response Technologies has already appointed Dan Peters as its CEO to oversee ERT's growth plans. This announcement was made in the past week. Mr. Peters was formerly the president of RevFire Group and holds more than 30 years experience in senior leadership roles, the majority of which have been in emergency response sector. In addition to his role as president of RevFire Group, Dan Peters was also president of E1, Hollands Bus Company and Akron Brass Company. He has also held several vice president roles including at Pierce Manufacturing. This appointment will not only be a huge positive for Emergency Response Technologies, but Dan Peters taking over key responsibilities at ERT will allow JP and Nick to focus more on the short and medium term growth plans of other ILUS subsidiaries. ILUS has made significant progress with its renewable subsidiary, which is already home to Replay Solutions and eRaptor, with both of these companies currently setting up in new operations in Serbia. ILUS is now in the final stages of agreeing the acquisition of a battery manufacturing company which is currently generating $20 million in annual revenue. The company designs and manufactures several battery types and is rolling out its own lithium battery products. Several byproducts of Replay Solutions' mining process, such as plastics, lithium, and various minerals, can be used in the potential acquisition's manufacturing plant. The availability of required raw materials and minerals from Replay Solutions will substantially reduce manufacturing costs for the company. Now, I've said this time and time again, this is one of the things that sets ILUS International apart from other companies on the OTC. Every acquisition that the company makes fits with the overall goals and growth objectives of ILUS. None of the company's acquisitions ever seem to be done to be chasing the latest trend, which is something we see far too often on the OTC. ILUS management have a clear plan and have been working towards this plan since day one. Not only will this company provide materials for Replay Solutions, but will also develop and manufacture batteries for eRaptor and work on the development of specialized batteries for drones. ILUS is preparing to agree terms and announce the deal within the coming weeks. And plans are underway for ERT to uplist onto a major stock exchange and the execution of aggressive growth plans for its renewable subsidiary. ILUS will now also place increased focus on its UAV and defense subsidiaries. JP and Nick will remain heavily involved in the process of ERT, which represents the culmination of a vision that they have worked for over 10 years. And ERT did recently acquire full control of OTCQB company Wikisoft, which currently trades under the ticker WSFT. Nick Link has taken over as chairman of Wikisoft, with JP, Louise and Krishna taking seats on the board of directors. Wikisoft is a data company that leverages big data and associated insights from business data sets to improve performance. In line with the new phase of globalization, there is a growing demand for access to credible and reliable business data, and clearly ILUS sees this company as another key link for its overall growth of the ILUS group. As of yesterday, Wikisoft filed to deregister the remaining shares on its registration statement with the SEC. The company is seeking to deregister the remaining shares due to the upcoming name, ticker, and change in operations, as well as being consistent with the public interest and protection of investors following its acquisition by ERT. Since my last ILUS update video, there has been a lot of other news too, including the release of updated financials. So on the latest financial statements of the company, we can see that ILUS has total assets of $34 million and total liabilities of $15 million. Revenue for the 3 months was a little over $3 million, giving a gross profit of $1.8 million and a net profit of $600,000. Now these are in no way huge numbers, even for an OTC company, but that does still show a 500% revenue increase over the same period last year. So ILUS are on the right track. But most importantly, they are increasing revenue while the company is remaining profitable. Too often we see companies who are unprofitable, and when they experience revenue growth, they experience bigger and bigger losses as they grow. The ILUS net income margins are improving year over year, so as revenue increases further, we should see overall profits of the company increase in line. Which is interesting when you consider that for January to March, ILUS had $3 million in revenue. But just a few weeks ago, the company confirmed that it had agreed the terms to acquire its first $100 million revenue company. The agreed acquisition delivered upwards of $100 million in 2021 revenue and is on track to achieve over $200 million in 2022. So that is huge. Right now, ILUS is turning a net profit margin of about 20% on its $3 million revenue. If ILUS can produce similar profit margins going forward, then ILUS would be looking at profits of over $40 million in 2022 from this one acquisition alone. And of course, we've seen it already with every acquisition the company makes, that these provide synergies with other group companies. So this could help improve the profit margins of the entire ILUS group of companies. The company is based in the Middle East, where its manufacturing and assembly facilities extend to over 10 million square feet. The addition of such enormous manufacturing capability and revenue will be an incredible development for ILUS, with more exciting developments nearing completion. Importantly, ILUS and the agreed acquisition hope to complete the remaining due diligence and contractual process within approximately 30 days. Now this press release is dated May 25th, which is well over 20 days ago, so we should expect to see this deal being officially finalized and announced within the coming days. And considering the ILUS share price has dropped to just 8 cents now, and the market cap is little over $100 million, these new acquisitions alone bring revenue far in excess of the current capitalization of ILUS. Although this deal is being structured with Emergency Response Technology subsidiary, ERT is fully owned by ILUS, so that's all good. Now another stock that I get asked to review all the time, but I've not looked at this in a very long time, is CYBL Cyberlux Corp. Now if you want to look back at some of my videos from last year while this was going up back in September 21, I felt that this was not worth its very lofty price. Sure, the share price was only pennies, but the company did not justify the market cap that it was trading at. However, now the stock is trading at just over 1 cent and the market cap is now only $65 million, which I think could provide a nice little opportunity here. Just yesterday, CYBL announced amended first quarter financial and operational results, confirming the company delivered $6.25 million in revenue and $1.24 million in net income for the first quarter of 2022, which represents a 543% year-over-year revenue increase. Cyberlux grew revenue 13.8% quarter-over-quarter from fourth quarter 2021 to first quarter 2022. Total assets increased to $10.5 million, while current liabilities reduced by 42% down to just $5.6 million. Now what is very important to understand is that this company is still in negative equity, and this is a huge drawback as far as I'm concerned. I would never even recommend investing in a company with negative equity, but usually these types of companies have negative equity and are also producing losses. However, as we see here from Cyberlux Corporation, they did have revenue of over 6 million with net income before tax of 1.4 million for the 3-month period. That represents a net profit margin of over 23%. If Cyberlux can keep increasing revenue throughout the year and maintain those profit margins, then this company could easily be out of negative equity in the very near future, and then things would look much better. In terms of very near-term catalysts, the company has just filed the attorney letter with respect to current information, which will see Cyberlux have the yield sign removed and be back to being pink current again, which in itself should provide a boost to the share price. But overall, one of my most hopeful plays for the entire OTC is the Petrotek Takeover by Vistin United. If this is not a deal that you are familiar with, then check out my recent videos. There is links to this in the description below. Basically, Petrotek have a buyout offer on the table to buy the shares for 74 cents per share. These shares are currently trading at only 18 US cents, which represents a massive upside of over 200%, but the shares need to be tendered before 5 PM Eastern Time. This play is not without risks, and the deal does need to get regulatory approval from the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, but I see no reason for this deal not to be approved. I don't see how this takeover of Petrotek would in any way affect national security, so I do not see this being an issue. So guys, before we end the video, if you've watched all the way through, then please hit the like button. It really helps the channel out a lot. Remember that this is my opinion and not financial advice, because I am not a financial advisor. I hope you found value in this video, but always do your own research. Never take the opinion or advice of anyone on YouTube or social media without doing your own due diligence, and of course, feel free to watch some of my Petrotek videos for more details about the company. There is links to this in the description below, and if you're new, hit the subscribe button and bell notification, and I'll catch you in the next one.